This is Colin McGuigan for IFLTV with You've definitely been on sunbeds, have you?
Mate, I've been away.
Where have you been
I've had
away?
a week off. I've been travelling around in the sun all over the world. Right, leave me. You know, it's the summer. Just because you look like Casper the Ghost.
No, I'm a nice little town.
Oh yeah, lovely little town. Yeah.
Yeah, you not seen it?
Around these parts, yeah.
Edward, you've made Belfast history this week by sharing a meme.
Yeah, days like this. That's the title of this fight, you know, and I have to shout out Ross Garrity because I said, now for those who don't know, and you'll be hearing it a lot from me over the next weeks and months, this fight, Lewis Crocker against Paddy Donovan, is the first ever World Championship fight, all Irish, right? Never happened before, probably never happen again. Certainly in the welterweight division, right? And Ross Garrity produced the artwork and it said, days like this. The Van Morrison song, right? I said, days like this. I think it needs more of a world championship theme. We need to let people know this is for a world title and this is the first ever All-Irish World Championship fight. Call it the welterweights. And he went, okay, boss. And I thought, days like this. Days like this. Days like this. When the fuck do we get days like this? And that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? 20,000 here at Windsor Park. Days like this. Not just days like this for the fighters. Not just days like this for anyone involved, but days like this for the customer, for the fan, for the people that can come and enjoy a sporting event that they'll never forget. Because the atmosphere here will be unbelievable. Incredible. And I said to Lewis Crocker when we walk into the centre circle, how mad is it how life plays out? You were on your way to getting beat. Paddy Donovan made a mistake. He got disqualified. You won. They appealed. Jaron Ennis moved up in the meantime. And now you're fighting Paddy Donovan for the world welterweight title at Windsor Park. And he was like, I will not lose here. And he's got to be better because Paddy was controlling that fight. But when you look at the doors that will open for both men in this division with the names, you know, Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo, Conor Benn, Shakur Stevenson, this would become home for those kind of fights for Lewis Crocker. And for Paddy, you know, what a chance for him and Andy Lee to pick up a piece of that World Welterweight Championship. Jeez.
In terms of this fight, Eddie, you kind of summed it up well there, but do you have an influence on the fact that Bouts moves up? Do you have any sort of conversation about that?
No, I mean,
say you want this fight.
For me, when Stanionis lost to Bouts and Bouts unified, I wanted Bouts to go on really and try and pick up the other belts. Obviously, it's completely his decision to decide when he moves to 54. Just timing is everything in life. When they ordered the rematch, it was just for the number one spots, for the mandatory. I never thought, oh yeah, let's see if Bouts can move. But when Bouts turned around to me and said, I'm going to move to 54, I was like, oh my God, Crocker and Donovan's for the full world title. And then you go to the IBF, obviously they're the next two in line. There's no way out. Everyone was lobbying. Devin Haney was lobbying for the vacant title, everyone was. And the IBF, who are true to their word, just say, no, it's the two highest available, it's Crocker Donovan. And then you're thinking, wow, we've got an all-Irish World Championship fight. We can't go back to the SSE. Then we speak to the Irish FA, we speak to Windsor Park, and we make it happen here.
What does this mean to the winner?
Life-changing. I mean, whoever wins this fight is going to be in some of the biggest fights in the sport.
Reel off some of the names.
I just did. I mean, if you listen, but you know, sitting there with your phone in your Cole Buxton top on with paint all over it. I know you've got ripped jeans, right? I said before, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. You know, I mean, every major name anywhere around 147 is going to be Conor Benn. He's going to be looking at the winner of this fight, going, I'm going to fight them for the World Championship. This is going to, I mean, look, they get well paid here. They create the legacy. This is the fight that gives them the opportunity to change their life forever, right? And all you've got to do is you've got to beat the man in front of you. That's all you've got to do to become world champion here.
Is there a situation where if Lewis Crocker was to win with the controversy of the first one, that then we see a trilogy?
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I mean, look, it could be one of the great fights and then the trilogy fight comes back here, maybe it goes down south. I don't know. I mean, I just know that these guys have got 12 rounds. 12 rounds to capture that championship. Carl Frampton bought his belt here today, the IBF belt. He boxed here. You know, like the atmosphere was incredible, and it will be just a night to remember on September 13th. Days like this, days like this.
They need to work on that accent before then. A lot of people are speculating that you won't be here for the fight. Can you confirm or deny?
Why?
Because they're saying you're going to be whisked away to Vegas for Canelo Crawford. Is there any truth?
There is absolutely nothing in the world that would stop me from being here September 13th.
What if you have a massive fight on the Canelo
Doesn't
Crawford
matter.
undercard? Really?
I would not miss this night. These days like this, Cole. These days, days like this, are days that I fucking live for. Can you imagine, Cole, the boys walking out of there? And you know what it is? It's not Anthony Joshua, it's not Tyson Fury. 2 young fighters, both men, walking out of that tunnel to 20-odd thousand to fight for the world championship. Nothing. I like Canelo Crawford, amazing fight. That it's just different. It's different.
In terms of the undercard, you've announced some big fights already. The Tyrone McKenna, Dylan Moran rematch. Molly McCann's going to be on the card. Pat Brown. Are we expecting any more?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's very difficult because we've had, I would say, 30 plus people trying to get on. Obviously, Belfast fighters. There'll be at least one more championship fight. There'll be at
Give
least.
us an idea of what?
Do you know? Like, I don't want to say because we've had there's 4 or 5 championship fights that we're looking at. But obviously, so far you've got Ishmael Davis against Kevin Ajaka. I think it's a great fight. Dylan Moran against Tyrone McKenna in his last fight will be an absolute war. Molly McCann, Pat Brown, and there'll be another All Irish Championship fight as well on the before the bell section. Another local prospect on the card, and another one of Matchroom's names fighting on the card as well. So yeah, we had a small pre-sale window of the last sort of 72 hours, and we sold twice as many tickets just in the very limited pre-sale than we did for the first 3 weeks of the first fight.
So you think this sells out?
I believe so. The general sale goes on today at midday. Lewis Crocker's ordered 4,000 tickets on his own. So, you know, couple that up, I think we'll certainly be over 10,000 by the end of today. So, you know,
You gonna keep me a few tickets from a family?
No, but this is like I said on joke back days, like this is like, you know, if you're from around here, you come to this event. This is going to be an event you'll never forget.
Eddie, in terms of your scheduling, what are we expecting from Matchroom over the next few weeks?
So there'll be 2 shows on the weekend of September the 6th. 1 show in the UK and 1 show internationally.
Internationally being Mexico?
Yes. September the 13th will be here. And then there will be an announcement in the next, I'll say 48 hours, for 1 more UK show in October, which will be Dave Allen. 1 more US show in October, which will be Boots Ennis. And then we'll move into November and we'll get those announced as well.
Give us some of the headliners. You don't need to tell us where or when, but who's the headliners that you're expecting on these shows that you've just spoke about?
Well, Dave Allen in October.
Thanks.
I mean, I do worry that you never actually listen.
I do listen, but
okay,
you
well, I
just
said
said
Dave
two
Allen
shows.
headlining in October and Jerron Ennis headlining in October.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you just said 2 shows.
Who will the headlines be on those shows?
You're trying to get out
I just
of this.
fucking told
September
you.
6th, 2. That's what I'm referring to. The 2 that you
Sugar
just...
Nunes.
In Mexico?
Yes.
Against?
Announcement soon. But what's the point in me telling you what the announcements are going to be when they're coming in?
Okay,
like
well,
40
the other one in the UK on September
Next gen.
6th. Next gen?
Next gen style. So, yeah, in the northeast.
It's Newcastle.
In the northeast. Yeah.
Eddie, in terms of AJ, the discussions, like I seen he's just came back from holiday in Mykonos. He's on the mic there. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I know, he loves it. I think AJ's just enjoying being normal. You know, just like, it won't last long, but it's nice.
What's the discussions been like? Is Jake Paul a front runner?
The discussions with AJ are as follows. We will be ready to fight November, December. We are planning life without Jake Paul. But if that is for real, of course, we take that fight in a heartbeat. We don't think that, I don't just think Jake's doing it just purely for publicity, but at the same time, will he actually do it? We'll find out soon, but we're up for it. But we can't just live in the world of waiting for Jake Paul. So we're going to fight December, maybe early January.
Likely opponents.
just like, I mean, I don't know. Like,
You obviously do know.
I
Though.
don't know because it's, you know, it
Wilder?
depends on where it is. I mean, firstly, we've had 3 offers to do this fight internationally, not in Saudi, and plus Saudi as well. And every opponent might be different. If we fight in America, it might be someone else. If we fight in Africa, it might be someone else. If we fight in Saudi, it could be someone else. If we fight at the O2, it could be someone else. So
okay, can I give you a few and you tell me yes or no?
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder in Vegas?
No.
Why?
Because I just don't think there hasn't been any discussions. I think he's talking about fighting somewhere in Asia, Deontay Wilder next, and I don't think he would fight AJ next unless you offered him money that probably doesn't exist.
Zhilai Zhang in China?
Not in China, no. But he could be an opponent.
Bukoli in Africa?
Not coming off his defeats.
Just don't think it doesn't make sense for AJ, or?
No, I don't think you're gonna get any credit. I mean, he got beat by a Jagbar, and he got beat by Parker. So it's like
Joseph Parker in Saudi?
unlikely because I think Parker's, you know, obviously going to fight Usyk or get a shot at the vacant world title.
Who's the Dave Allen opponent, Edward?
It's a fucking unbelievable fight. I can't, but Dave is one of the strangest men I've ever met, right? So this is the conversation. So Jamie TKV's team completely, like, I mean, Boxer just ran him round in circles. It was so embarrassing. And I feel really sorry for Jamie TKV because he's been robbed of an opportunity to fight Dave Allen on a headline fight. But basically, I went to Dave Allen, I went, right, do you want to fight Jamie TKV? And he's like, not really. I said, well, might get it for the British. We've got the Commonwealth. He's like, all right then. And then, like, once Jamie TKV dropped the ball, we were like, okay. And he comes back to me, he goes, I want to fight someone really dangerous. I'm like, I said, but you know the money's the same because your money's contracted now. And like, yeah. But if I fight someone really dangerous, I might train harder because I'll be scared. I'm like, wait, Dave, can't you just train hard anyway? No, I need to be scared. So I sent him through a list of like 4 or 5 fighters. Probably 3 of them were just like knockouts.
I think he listed them last night. Tony Yoka being one of them.
Yeah, but they weren't even some of the guys. I think those fights, Tony Yoka, Nelson Hissa, the Albanian fighter, who's the other, Otto Warlin, those fights are much easier than the one he went for. Makhmudov. He was like,
is he not the one that?
He might be, but they've gone in a situation where it's like, I said, Dave, I've given him a list of fighters. He's chose the biggest puncher and the most dangerous one of the whole list. And he goes, if I beat him, what will happen? And I said, honestly, if you beat this guy, you will land Wilder, Parker, AJ, I don't know. You will get a massive fight, probably a 7-figure fight if you win this fight. And he's like, I'm in. And good luck. But it's gonna be. I'm pleased because we've got a thriller. But Dave is a very complex individual that makes some strange decisions. And I have to be honest with you, this was a very strange decision.
There's been reports that Tony Yoka and AJ's in discussions. Is that true?
Not really, no. I mean, I know he's come back with 3 wins, hasn't he? But again, depends where we do it. If we fought in France, maybe. But yeah.
Who's Boots' opponent, Eddie, for October?
That will be announced this week as well.
Yeah,
so I mean, look,
we'll have a couple of names for the fans.
We actually offered the fight to Josh Kelly yesterday.
Did he?
We're talking. The problem is, Josh earned a lot of money to fight was going to fight Liam Smith, but ended up fighting Ishmael Davis. So it's difficult because he's had a bit of that Riyadh season money. The offer's a great offer, but after the Riyadh season fights, I just like the fight, and it could be a WBO final eliminator for Xander Zayas. So, but we'll see.
Where are we at with Ben Eubank now? I know.
Kind of waiting on Ring and Saudi and His Excellency. There's 2 November dates that are possible. They came on to us.
London?
One for London. And they came on to us and they said, are you happy to fight him in November? And kind of went, I mean, I'm a bit pissed off that it's not happening September 20th, but ultimately Saudi have a contract to do that fight. It's huge money for Conor, and he'd love to run it back. So we'll have to see where it goes.
Well, Ed, appreciate your time in Belfast, and look forward to days like this. Ed, before I let you go, Francisco Rodriguez Jr., obviously there's been reports now that has kind of been ordered as a rematch. Is that?
Look, obviously I've been in situations before, and I do feel like you have to give the fighter an opportunity to prove his story and his case and go through the due process. How do we get in a situation where in 2 weeks of the news breaking about the test, He's apparently, I don't know if he's had his B sample tested. He's gone through a process and they've decided it was an accident. He was unlucky and the fight's a no contest, the title's vacant, but he gets to do it again. What? And I'm going to drop something now that apparently is going to drop in the media upcoming, but this will be an exclusive, and I'm fuming. I found out last night that Francisco Rodriguez Jr. also failed a drugs test in his fight before Galal Yafai. Because I went onto his box rec and I noticed it was a no contest in Texas. And I thought, but normally on box rec, it will tell you why. So we reached out to the Texas Commission who confirmed that he failed a drugs test. And I'm like, and I want a full report as to what happened in that process. Because we had VADA testing in place for that fight. But if I would have known that Francisco Rodriguez had failed a drugs test on that night, we would have had even more extensive testing. And I also would have said to the WBC, are you sure this guy's eligible for the eliminator? So you're telling me that Francisco Rodriguez has failed a drugs test in two of his last two fights on fight night, he had drugs in his system. And now you want to order the rematch. You've just put, or he's been put, Galal Yafai, in a situation where he has fought a man with performance-enhancing drugs in his system over 12 rounds. Physically, he took a beating that night. If this guy has failed tests, not just one, his last two fights, whatever you do, do not order this rematch. Do what is right, which is make Galal Yafai the mandatory challenger for the world title. Let Rodriguez go through his process. He deserves the opportunity to see if he's innocent or not. But don't tell me that within 2 weeks, you've had the hearing, you've had the B sample, you've gone through all the paperwork and the science, and you've just gone, oh, he was unlucky, he didn't know anything about it. What about the last one? This is a disgrace that Galal Yafai has to rematch this guy. Now, if Rodriguez is unlucky, if whatever, that's that. But we've been there, we've done it. It's time for Galal Yafai to get an opportunity through what he has been through. And when I found that out last night, I just couldn't believe it.
If they do order the rematch, would you allow Galal?
It's up to Galal Yafai. I mean, I just don't think it's right. But it will be down to Galal Yafai. Obviously, there'll be a lot different testing process going through. I mean, he was tested in the build-up last time, but on the fight night, he had it in his system. I just can't see, how can you order the rematch? It's mental.
Well, Ed, appreciate your time and yeah, look forward to days like this. Thanks.
Cheers.